What if we caused a flood in Death Valley? It's a scenario that may seem far-fetched, but with the effects of climate change becoming more pronounced each year, it's not entirely out of the realm of possibility. Death Valley is the lowest point in North America, sitting at 282 feet below sea level. It's also one of the hottest and driest places on Earth, with an average annual rainfall of just 2 inches. As a result, it's difficult to imagine this barren landscape ever experiencing a flood. However, recent events have shown that the unexpected can happen. In 2015, a flash flood hit Death Valley, causing road closures and damage to infrastructure. The flood was caused by a storm that dropped a large amount of rain in a short period of time, overwhelming the desert's drainage systems. If global temperatures continue to rise, it's possible that Death Valley and other arid regions may experience more extreme weather events like this. The effects of climate change can also lead to changes in ocean currents and atmospheric pressures, which can impact rainfall patterns and increase the likelihood of floods. So what would happen if Death Valley did experience a major flood? The impacts could be significant. Floodwaters could cause damage to roads, buildings, and other infrastructure in the area. The flood could also have long-lasting effects on the delicate ecosystem of the desert, potentially wiping out rare plant and animal species. There's also the potential for a flood to impact nearby communities. While Death Valley is largely uninhabited, there are towns and cities downstream that could be affected by a sudden deluge of water. This could lead to property damage, displacement of residents, and even loss of life. Of course, causing a flood in Death Valley is not something we would want to intentionally do. It's important that we take action to mitigate the effects of climate change and reduce the likelihood of extreme weather events like floods.
Hey guys! I came here in the middle of the video, asking you to leave your like, subscribe to the channel, because there is a lot of special content every day. Keep watching.
That means reducing our carbon emissions, transitioning to renewable energy sources, and adopting sustainable practices in our everyday lives. In conclusion, the thought of a flood in Death Valley may seem implausible. But it's a scenario that we can't afford to ignore. As the effects of climate change become more pronounced, we need to take action to protect ourselves and the planet from the impacts of extreme weather events like floods. One potential solution to mitigate the impacts of floods in Death Valley and other arid regions is to invest in better drainage systems and flood protection measures. This could involve building channels and dams to redirect flood waters away from populated areas and infrastructure. Additionally, we can work to restore and protect the natural ecosystems of these regions. By preserving native plant species and creating habitats for wildlife, we can help to maintain the delicate balance of these regions and prevent the loss of biodiversity. Ultimately, preventing floods in Death Valley and other arid regions will require a concerted effort from individuals, businesses, and governments alike. We all have a role to play in reducing our carbon footprint and adopting sustainable practices that will help to slow the effects of climate change, whether it's through driving electric cars, using renewable energy, or reducing waste. There are many small steps we can take to make a difference. By working together, we can help to ensure that Death Valley and other vulnerable regions remain intact and inhabitable for generations to come.